Hey everybody, this is Nathan at Kenton Equipment Company, Northern Kentucky's Kioti dealer, tri-state Cincinnati area dealer, we'll put it that way. Premier 5-paw as of this year, pat ourselves on the back for that one. Anyway, I've got some new models. These are the NS series Kioti tractors. They are new to us. We've been waiting on them all year. We ordered them at the dealer meeting last year, and like everything else, it's behind getting them, but they are starting to trickle into dealers now, so you're going to start to see these show up on people's lots. And I wanted to give a nice close-up walk around of these guys. I asked myself what you might ask yourself. Out of all the different tractors you could add to a lineup, why would you do another 45 horse? They already make two different models. They make a DK series that you can get into 45 horse. And that would be, we'll consider it a little bit smaller than this, although it is on the same tire. And then they make an NX series that is a little bit bigger. And it's just a hair longer, hair wider. A couple different features, and we'll go over those. And it's also 45. So I asked myself that question. We ordered them because basically we'll sell everything we get this year. It's just insane. But yeah, we got them. And after looking at it, it's interesting. It's very reminiscent of an older DK SE. I don't know if anybody on here has ever seen an older DK SE. And I say older, I'm not talking that long ago, like pre-2013, when all the emissions stuff came down. If you go look at different manufacturers' lineups, you'll notice that around 2013, everybody came out with a new model because they essentially had to redesign everything to meet emissions standards on the front end. You know, all your engine and computer and everything had to be a little bit different. So these are really similar to that DKSE from back then, and it's kind of holds a special place in my heart because my grandpa had one. He had a DK45 SE for years that he bought from us. He's the original owner of this business. He started us back in 1972, I think. Don't quote me on that. 74 maybe. And he had Kubota for years, and he started with Deutz tractors. But he saw that Kioti, that DKSE, and he bought it after Dan took over, and he loved it. He would rant and rave about it. It was the greatest thing. They're so high quality, and he's right. He's really right about that. It just kind of, seeing this so similar makes me smile. It's just so similar to that. They're kind of going back to their heyday with really nice high quality stuff. So let me go over these things. I'm going to go over the hydrostat that we're looking at here, and then we have I'm sorry, this is the standard shift. I'm on the wrong side. And then over there's the hydrostat. We'll go over that one first. We are in the warehouse today. I shouldn't say tonight. It's like 25 degrees colder than it was yesterday, and I showed up in shorts because I failed to read the news or watch the news, and it's cold, so I stuck us inside. We don't have the backdrop. Normally we're back in the 6 acres in the field, and sometimes you can see like an actual coyote running across the back of the field, but not today. Today you might see a guy come down and grab a chainsaw or something. So yeah, let's go over this thing. First, we'll start at the front. We've got skid steer quick attach front bucket. So nice 72-inch bucket, the same one you'd see on the DK or the NX. It's big and little brother. Nice clean loader lines ran. Everything's nice and pretty. Welds are good. Nice greasable pins with retained grease fittings. You're not going to shear off. They do make a third function kit for this loader. Everything's quick attach. It's very similar to the other guys. They kind of sent it out of the box, ready to go. The bucket level indicator, still standard equipment. That's on there. And then as far as this operator station goes, it's interesting. So some people are saying that this is the front half of an NX and the rear half of a DKSE or a DK kind of spliced together. I guess you ask yourself why would they do that? I'm not sure, but the linkage on this thing is primarily, like from here back, is primarily DK linkage. It's mechanical. So something like these twin hydrostat pedals is a good example. These are more like what you'd see on a DK 4710 SE, and by that, I'm talking about the linkage under here. So there's two different hydrostats in tractors these days. You're going to see what you call mechanical linkage or drive-by-wire. Let's call it digital linkage. I just coined that term, digital linkage. That's mine. So this is mechanical linkage, and what that basically means is you push on the pedal, there's actual levers and rods that run back to the rear end of the transmission, and they open and close things inside and tell it what to do. So it's very positive. You can feel stuff happen. You push it down and it has resistance because you're physically opening things. And there's benefit to that. I like things like that. You can feel what's going on. It has pressure. So mechanical linkage, that's one benefit. You can feel things. The other benefit is it's very simple. You know, if something's broke, you're generally going to find it because it runs from here back there, and something in between there is messed up. You can see it. The downside of mechanical linkage would be things like cruise control or linked pedal that links the pedal with the engine RPM, or a lot of features you'll see on these pedals these days. They're mechanical, so you generally have to add them physically. Like there's actual kits that physically add things on to do those things. Like this has cruise control already. It's a standard feature on an NS, but that cruise control, when you push this pedal down, you hit the cruise control button and linkage snaps on, a little magnet basically snaps on and keeps this in place. And then whenever you hit a button, it releases and goes back to neutral, or you hit the brake or do whatever to turn that cruise control off. So anything you have to add, like let's say you wanted to add a linked pedal, it is mechanical and you have to add it on mechanically. So that might be a downside. So adding those things are a little more expensive. But the upside is that reliability and probably the cost. I would say this thing is probably cheaper than an NX transmission, and arguably more reliable. The NX did have some weird things, but they fixed them pretty quickly, and they are really nice. I mean, people love the NXs. We've sold a ton of them. No complaints there. But yeah, this is mechanical. So let's say that the rear end from the linkage on the pedal back is DK and the front end is NX. We'll say it like that. Going over the operator station on here, everything is really nice and well thought out, clean, and really heavy duty. I always try to hammer that home. Like when people are looking at these things, you're going to find some of these tractors where not linkages, but levers and buttons and key switches, and they're like little lawn and garden dinky things that you see. Like, you know, they'll have a lawnmower that's $2,000 with the same buttons that they have on their $25,000 tractor. This is all really nice, high quality stuff. And the layout of this platform is really good. It's not quite as big as an NX. An NX is going to be a little bit wider. You're really going to feel like it almost feels like you're sitting on a recliner when you're sitting on an NX, and everything is kind of like right there at arm's reach. So it's not that wide, but it is well thought out and very open. There's nothing in the floor. Let me climb up here. Get your full suspension seat. Same thing on all the other ones. Everything is right here within hand's reach. So push button PTO, automatic PTO, that's standard equipment. There's your regen controls if you ever actually have to do them manually. The throttle is not what you see on the other models. It's a nice positive linkage. Everything can be felt, really high quality. Tilt steering, the whole steering wheel is different. So this guy it's really the same one they had on the DKSEs from back then. It's really high quality. It's not, I'm sure it's plastic, but it's not like it's coated in something. It's not leathery. Maybe it's rubbery, but it's just a nicer high quality steering wheel than what I'm used to seeing. Well made. Tilt steering, we said that. All your turn signals and horn and light relay, that's normal. Here's your cruise control, and then this is important. This is push button 4-wheel drive. So that is something that's different from a DK. A DK is usually going to have a mechanical 4-wheel drive lever, either over here or down on the floor. Push button 4-wheel drive is really nice. So if you are like me earlier, we have hills here. We're in northern Kentucky, everybody does. And we came down a gravel driveway. I did, driving this thing. And I don't have the tires loaded on this yet. It's brand new. We just got them assembled. So the tires are not filled, and I'm relying completely on the rear tires for traction because I'm not in 4-wheel drive. So as I go down the hill, rear end comes off the ground, I can't stop. I start sliding. Not quickly, but just slowly. So all I have to do is hit that button and my front axle's engaged. I don't have to sit there and fight with linkage or anything and catch myself in a situation where my linkage is bound up and I'm stuck in 2-wheel drive. So that's a really nice feature. It's something you see on the NX and the RX that this has. So push button 4-wheel drive, and then your road flashers. So deck mat standard, rear remote standard. The loader is right there on your right side. Nothing's up in the air. So nice clear cut, through there. You can rest your hand on it. Let's see, draft control. So you got your regular 3-point lift and your draft control. That is standard equipment on here, pressure sensing draft control. So all those, I don't know how much, people don't really use plows these days, not nearly as much, but things like that, things that are ground engaging under the ground that you want to keep a specific level under the ground. That draft control is really useful for that. And then nice 3-range hydrostat. And something that I noticed really specifically about this is this is very nice positive movement between here. You can just tell it's a really quality rear end. We're going to go look at the rear end. Get your head out of the gutter. We're going to go look at the rear end in a minute, but these linkages are just really nice and positive. I can't see, especially on a new tractor that's a hydrostat, you get caught between these a lot, and you kind of have to like move the tractor a little bit. You tap the pedal and you kind of line it up, but these are just moving right in and out. It's very nice. So that's the operator station. The fuel tank is in the normal spot that all these are. It's right there under the driver's side. It is shielded. It's got metal plate all the way across the bottom, and then you've got, like on the other loaders, there's a nice metal bar that runs along the tractor all the way back. So that's actually there to reinforce the loader bracket, because the lift capacities on these things are getting higher and higher every year, it seems. So this one's about 2,200 pounds. And they reinforce the bracket. But the secondary thing for that is it makes a nice little skid plate. If you catch yourself running up on something like a big rock or tree or something, usually it's going to catch that bar before it would catch anything, breakable above it. So fuel tank, let's go look at the rear end. You've got your standard Category 1 3-point arms, or Category 2 if you go up to the 60 horse model. These are standard equipment, the pin type check chains, flip up PTO, your trailer control, your rear remote, that's where you come out. And then obviously the Kioti Special, you can raise and lower the 3-point arms from the back of the tractor with this lever. Draft control, everything's greasable. That's something else that might be different than a DK is you're going to find a lot more greasable components on the rear end here. Like back here where these levers move, grease fitting for the draft control, so on and so forth. Really nice high quality drawbar bracket. It's movable. It's really nice. Yeah, so there's the rear end of this guy. This is almost identical to the DKSEs. It's really nice. I mean, all the casts and welds, all the components are just really pretty and well made. Everything's heavy. Everything's cast, no aluminum. So that's the hydrostat. I want to show you something on the standard shift version of this too. It's basically identical, but the transmission in this thing is really special, and it's something that it differs a lot from a DK. So the transmission in this is like, where that transmission is more like a DK, this one's actually more like an NX on the standard shift model. You've got a shuttle shift, but not all shuttle shifts are made the same. You're going to hear terms like partially synchronized, fully synchronized, synchromesh, and all this junk, but this is a fully synchronized transmission. So on a DK, you've got 2 ranges, 4 gears, and then a forward and reverse. So you have 8 forward and 8 reverse gears. This one is 3 ranges and 4 gears, so 12 forward, 12 reverse. But on a DK, this is synchronized, your shuttle, but your gears are not. So your gears are very mechanical on a DK, not synchronized, but your forward and reverse movements are. So it makes movement between forward and reverse on the fly really easy. On this guy, your shuttle is synchronized as well as your gears. So the NS is a fully synchronized transmission, meaning as I'm driving through and around, if I want to change gears on the fly, I don't have to completely stop, try to fight, pick into gear and then start going again, which is not that, I'm not going to say that happens all the time, but it happens enough. I mean, this is just buttery smooth. It also holds up better over time because synchronizers are kind of helping stuff fall into place. So it's just a really nice high quality transmission. 3 range, 4 gears, so 12 forward, 12 reverse. You don't see that a lot. You don't see a fully synchronized transmission on a 45 horse tractor, especially one, by the way, that we're selling for about $28,500, like with the loader, with the tires filled on the back. I mean, it's well under $30,000, fully synchronized, Oh, you know what? That's the hydrostat. This one's going to be probably about $1,000 cheaper than that, about $27.5. Just not very common. So hopefully that's a pretty good walkover of these things. You've let me talk your ear off. Hopefully let me see. Hopefully I keep enough of these. If somebody wants to come see one, absolutely come do it. We are Northern Kentucky's Kioti dealer, Kenton Equipment Company. Give us a call at 859-356-9091, and let me know if you have any other questions on these. Now that I got my hands on them, I can answer them for you. Thanks.